You think you're smart with money. You probably even pride yourself on it, tracking your expenses, finding deals, maybe even investing a little each month. But what if I told you that right now, your mind is quietly sabotaging your financial future? Not because you're careless, not because you lack information, but because your psychology, the way your brain is wired, is quietly draining your wealth day after day. Stop and think about this. Every financial decision you make feels rational in the moment. You buy a morning coffee because you deserve it. You ignore your savings because you'll catch up next month. You convince yourself you're being careful, even when you're not. Why is it so easy to fool yourself about money? And what's really at stake if you keep doing it? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually felt in control of your money? Not just paying bills, not just keeping up, but really steering your future? Most people never do. They believe they're making progress, yet month after month, year after year, their financial situation barely changes. That's not bad luck. That's not circumstance. That's psychology. But here's what nobody tells you. Money isn't about numbers. It's about identity. It's about the invisible stories you tell yourself, the patterns you repeat without noticing, the subtle ways you chase comfort now at the expense of freedom later. Do you ever wonder why you keep making the same financial mistakes over and over, even when you know better? Why does self-sabotage feel safer than change? Think about this. If saving money was just about discipline, everyone would do it. If investing for the future was only about knowledge, we'd all be rich by now. But you're not just a logical calculator, are you? Your brain is wired for instant gratification, for avoiding pain, for sticking with what feels familiar, even if familiar is secretly destroying your chance at wealth. You tell yourself you'll start saving when things calm down. You'll invest once you learn a bit more. But that moment never arrives. Why? Because your brain is playing a cruel trick. It convinces you that your future self will be different, more disciplined, more committed. But what's really changing? Is anything actually getting easier? Or are you just putting off discomfort until it's too late? But let's stop and look deeper. Imagine 5 years from now, you're still earning a decent income, still paying your bills, still telling yourself you're doing fine, but your savings haven't grown. Your investments haven't compounding. You're no closer to the life you want. How does that make you feel? Disappointed? Frustrated? Or do you just numb out and move on, pretending it doesn't matter? Let me ask you, how many times have you looked at your bank account and felt a pang of anxiety, only to push it aside with a promise to do better next month? How often do you scroll past stories of people who built real wealth and convince yourself they just got lucky, or they had some advantage you didn't? It's easier to believe that than to confront the real problem, isn't it? But here's the painful truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Your money psychology is the enemy within. It quietly undermines your potential, day by day, decision by decision. Not with big mistakes, but with 1,000 tiny compromises. The small splurges, the skipped investments, the rationalizations that it's only a little bit. Each one feels harmless. Together, they cost you years of freedom, decades of security. Now let me break your pattern for a second. Most people think the rich have some secret knowledge, some hidden strategy. But the difference isn't knowledge, it's psychology. The wealthy confront their discomfort. They sit with the pain of not buying now, the boredom of long-term planning, the anxiety of uncertainty. They don't avoid discomfort. They use it as a signal that they're on the right path. Can you honestly say you do the same? Think about your last impulse purchase. Did it actually make you happier or just distract you from something uncomfortable? How often do you let your feelings dictate your spending, then justify it with a story that makes you feel in control? You see, the real threat isn't losing money, it's losing self-respect. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, you erode the foundation of your financial identity. What does that say about the person you're becoming? And still, you might want to argue, I'm different, I'm careful, I understand money. But if that were true, why aren't you where you want to be? Why do you feel the same uncertainty, the same frustration, the same sense of being stuck as everyone else? Stop and think about this. If you're so rational, why do your actions keep telling a different story? What if I told you that every financial system, every budget, every investment plan you've ever tried will fail unless you change the psychology underneath? Because the truth is, you cannot outsmart your own mind. Not for long. You'll always find a way to self-sabotage, to slip back into comfort, to convince yourself you're doing better than you are. But here's what nobody tells you. Financial security isn't built on discipline or luck. It's built on a willingness to feel uncomfortable, to notice your urge to spend and sit with it instead of acting on it, to face your financial anxiety and use it as a guide, not an excuse. Can you imagine what would be possible if you stopped running from discomfort and started listening to it instead? Let me ask you, how would your life change if every time you felt the urge to spend impulsively, you paused? If, instead of numbing yourself with another purchase, you actually asked, what am I avoiding right now? What am I afraid to feel? What would it mean to delay gratification, to invest in your future self instead of feeding your present comfort? Would that make you more free or less? Because here's the one insight that resolves this whole conflict. Your financial life will only change when you stop trying to avoid discomfort and start using it as a compass. Discomfort is not a sign you're failing. It's the signal you're finally confronting the behaviors that keep you stuck. Every moment you resist a fleeting comfort, every time you choose your future over your impulse, you're changing your identity. That's how real wealth begins. Not with a bigger paycheck, but with a different psychology. So ask yourself, are you willing to feel uncomfortable in order to become the person who actually gets wealthy? Or will you keep doing what you've always done, hoping for a different result? The choice is painfully simple. Discomfort now or regret later. Which pain are you willing to live with? Imagine 5 years from now, having actually confronted your money psychology, not just read about it. Imagine the relief of seeing your savings grow, your investments compound, your sense of control actually real. Imagine waking up without that familiar anxiety, knowing you've stopped lying to yourself. Who do you become then? What else becomes possible in your life when you finally trust yourself to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing? I know this isn't easy to hear. It's disappointing, even a little unfair. You've worked hard, you've tried to be smart. But if you're truly ready for change, start with the uncomfortable truth, not the comforting story. Watch your patterns. Sit with your urges. Let discomfort guide you, not control you. That's where financial transformation actually begins. If this changed how you think about money, subscribe to Mind Over Money right now, because understanding your financial psychology is how wealth actually starts. Hit that like button if you're ready to think differently. Don't just watch, decide, and do something different today.